This genre has been quite interesting in that I have been reading a lot more. I've always enjoyed reading, and I loved being enthralled in different worlds and watching TV shows or watching movies. Reading has not been the easiest thing for me. Because for some reason I always like fell asleep anytime I picked up a book and started reading. Maybe because I usually like read on the weekends and I'm laying down, and for last year it took me about 3 months to get three-quarters of the way through The Alchemist, which is not a big book, but in the past 3 or so weeks, or maybe because, of January, in about like the 3 or so weeks of January, maybe because January is like 17 weeks long. I've already read like 3 books, I think, and that could be because on the Kindle app you can change the font that you're the font that you're viewing the book in and you're reading it in, and they have this font called, I think, Open Dyslexia or Open Dyslexic. I will show it in here, and it's a font designed specifically to people with dyslexia, and I don't know if I actually do have dyslexia or not, which is really weird because in grad school I actually was one of the co-inventors of this video game that detects dyslexia. I worked with a bunch of brilliant other scientists, and we basically took some research on the type of reading mistakes that people who are dyslexic make, and we reverse engineered it into a game called Detective. I really love that project and that I worked on, but the thing is, because I was creating the game, I didn't really get a chance to actually like test it out or see if I do have dyslexia or not. So I'm not really diagnosed. If I do have dyslexia, the point is that I'm trying to make is that Open Dyslexic font that you have on the Kindle has been really, really helpful in getting me to sort of read and stick with my reading habits, which was one of the things that I wanted to do more in this year. I usually listen to a lot of books on Audible, and the majority of the books that I listen to are like business books and entrepreneurship books and management. And this January, I've actually been reading a lot of fiction and a lot of novels. I think I read The Last Flight by Julia Clark. I felt it dragged on a little bit in certain places, but other than that, it was pretty enjoyable and sort of suspenseful. And there is something of a twist. I'm not going to give it away, that you have to wait until the end of the book to figure it out. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to give any more on that. The second book I read this month was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. And in my notes here, I wrote it was thrilling all the way till the end when the author sort of fumbles the ending. There's like there is a lot of spoilers in this review that I have. So I'm not going to spoil that. And then the other book that I just finished reading that I did not super love was Green Dot. I thought the main character started out as annoying, then she became dumb, and then finally she just was pathetic, and the book went into a lot of side rants that did not really further the plot. But that mostly because, take that with a grain of salt, because I am a mid-30s male, and the book is written from the perspective of a 24-year-old woman falling in love, so there wasn't a whole lot of connection between me and the antagonist. So we'll see. I am looking for something new to read, and I think I'm gonna start reading The Odyssey, mostly because I know that Christopher Nolan is turning it into a movie, and I am a huge Christopher Nolan fan, and the cast for that movie looks absolutely incredible.